Creation of the vegetable, animal and human kingdoms. 1. The Garden of Eden, that is the inner surface of the planet, was inhabited only by the primordial man and by the mineral, vegetable and animal kingdoms. All of it was perfect. It couldn't be said that it was good, because there was no bad, although everyone knew what was right to do, without accepting any way other than the perfect one. 2. Nothing was done in another way than the perfect one because imperfection was known as the unwanted option. The rejection of what it might mean to get out of perfection was as instinctive as the child's fear of the abyss. He doesn't need to throw himself into it to know what will happen. Thus man knew that if they altered the perfect order of creation of the logos of the world and its four angels, they would lose that perfect and happy life that they had been enjoying since they were mineral crystals, when a breath of atomic consciousness made them exist as individualities. 3. They knew that since they began to be ruled by the influence of the authentic creator of man, who is the logos of the world, the only thing they had to do to evolve into perfect happiness was to maintain the perfect balance within themselves. That perfect balance between its three manifestations, being equals love, conscience equals intelligence and will equals power. In this way, they evolved, forming the most wonderful and perfect crystals, until they left that matter with so long, simple and slow rhythms, to organize a more complex structure, adapted to the creative requirements of a more capable, more conscious I. 4. For this, the logos of the world and their four angels had already given them an enormous variety of options to be in more complex organisms, where they could more fully express their greater amount of love, intelligence, and power. 5. Following the etheric blueprints made by the logos, the eyes formed the vegetable kingdom, where the options were much more diverse than those of the mineral kingdom, allowing a greater number of creative expressions to each evolving ego. Thus much shorter cycles were established, which were about 10,000 years, a little more or less. From the early mineral mixtures, forms of small snakes of life in chains of atoms emerged, which originated the tree of life. This is actually a computer system, like an organizer system of atoms, in such a way that a part of a body, for example, a cell, contains all the information about how the whole body is constituted. This tree of life mainly formed by carbon, hydrogen, nitrogen, and oxygen atoms form molecules, ordered atomic sets, with a spiral shape. 6. But this organization does not take place by chance, but by the intelligent and planned direction of a sublime consciousness, which is the planetary logos, the eye of the planet, since each world is a cell of the body of God that we call the universe. The logos first made 70 kinds of crystals for the young egos to begin the long and glorious path of evolution. 7. The tree of life allowed the formation of the vegetable, animal, and human kingdoms. In the beginning, the logos made 70 classes of minor grass-like vegetables to make the earth soft, and then designed 70 classes of trees, each with different and wonderful fruits. 8. When these were fully aware of all that their nature implies, the logos designed some fish bodies, being of 70 different classes, so they would learn to move in the water and develop the experience of the senses. Neither ate their fellows but the fruits of the vegetables that grew in the water. 9. When they were experienced in their nature, enjoying perfection in that kingdom, they jumped to another more complex design that allowed them to walk or fly, there being only 7 kinds of perfect animals on earth that were buffalo, mammoth, lion, eagle, wolf, bee and gazelle. None of them bothered the others, and they all ate fruits from the trees. There were no carnivorous beings. Clarification: the natural kingdoms are the product of cosmic evolution, but they are created, or generated based on a creational pattern imparted by the hierarchy of logos, according and with adaptation to the particular conditions that each planetary system and each planet can produce. In other solar systems, other galaxies, and other universal planes, life forms can be vastly different physically, and the realms very diverse in their mode of expression. But the absolute creational pattern is given in the maximum Hyperborean table. Third book. So all the kingdoms of the universe respond to the same laws, although the bodies of the beings are infinitely diverse. Therefore we will find in the cosmos, Analogies equivalent to the same level of consciousness. We can compare ourselves with a man from another galaxy whose body resembles more a tree or an octopus, but would be a man, as long as their level of consciousness is equivalent to ours.